Welcome to Candy Capital of the World, where your mom tries to play matchmaker and you end up falling for your business partner. It's all happening here at AfterBuzz TV. Stay tuned.
I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hello.
Hey.
Merry Christmas.
Christmas wave we got going.
Christmas wave. Welcome, AfterBuzzers and Hallmarkies, to the Countdown to Christmas show. Tonight, we're breaking down Merry and Bright. I'm your host, Chelsie Overocker, and to my left, I have Princess here, who is just a lover of Christmas, and she has her Christmas shopping already planned out.
Yes, it is a Google Sheets document on my iPhone.
Google
goes
Sheets
with me.
Document.
Impressive. And right next to Princess, we have Haley J, who is also a lover of Christmas and the Santa Claus.
Oh, hey. It may have taken me longer than I want to admit to, I don't want to spoil this if we have some young listeners, but let's just say you learn some things about Santa as you get older. That might not be the best news. So I was a late bloomer in that area.
But you could still believe, at no matter what age, still believe.
Absolutely.
For Merry and Bright, tonight we're going to be breaking down the movie, we're going to be giving our overall thoughts, and then we have our Hallmark Essential Checklist. We create a checklist that we feel like every Hallmark movie has, and we're going to see if Merry and Bright follows that checklist. And last but not least, we have gift ideas with Haley. She's going to be taking that over for our special segment. What were your guys' overall thoughts on this movie?
So I was craving a candy cane immediately.
Me too.
I haven't had a candy cane in so long, and I was like, I think I need one.
Yeah.
Don't know about a French toast one. We'll talk about that a little bit later as far as the flavor choices.
I'll take it. I thought it was super cute. I'm a big sugar fan. We were just talking about that. Anything sweet, I'll take it.
And your girl was in this one.
Yes, Jodie was in it. So I was a
Full House
fan.
moment.
I was a fan before it even began. Like I'm a Jodie fan.
I will say, knowing she was in it, I caught myself being more excited to watch this just because we love her.
Jodie was in one a couple years ago called Finding Santa with Eric Winter, and that one is one of my favorite Hallmark movies, so I knew I was going to love this movie when she was in it. I would say overall this movie was great. I loved how they first met because it's a little different than I feel like other Hallmark movies. It was just really funny because, you know, her mom's this matchmaker and, you know, this guy comes in, Gabe comes in, wanting to just be her business partner, but she's thinking that this is the guy that her mom set her up with.
Your problems are solved.
Your problems are solved. Yes, I love it. And he's like, I'm here to turn this ship around. And she's just like, excuse me?
What would you guys do if a guy was just like, your problems are solved, baby, I'm here to save the day?
Turn off.
Yeah, it's a little weird. Although, sidebar, what happened to the guy she was trying to set her up with? Like, we just never met him, right?
Yeah, you're right.
He's off in the sunset somewhere.
What was his
He
name?
went to the wrong
Really
hotel.
good point.
You
Oh
have
my gosh.
Such a good point. Josh, yeah, Mystery Josh. Whatever happened to him?
He went to the wrong
He
hotel.
remains a mystery,
Yeah.
apparently. That's going to be on the Hallmark Mystery channel on the
Right.
other episode.
The world
other
will never
channel.
No, but yeah, I thought that was really great. And then they just didn't hit it off very well, too, because she overhears him just saying, I don't want to be here. You know?
Talking to a brick
wall. Ooh,
That's an ouch, yeah.
That's a really big
But
ouch.
instead of her kind of pulling back even more, she took that as her opportunity to clear the air, clear the air, and kind of
clean it and clear
put
it.
her walls down a little bit, put that brick wall down. That maybe, I think, since we see her not really wanting the grandma's position and feeling like she had to kind of save the company, but not necessarily having a passion for it. I think that's what maybe created those walls. And then she was like, okay, I don't have to maybe have this hard exterior. I can still be a nice person.
Yeah.
I liked how they were able to break each other's walls down, though, because when they were at the restaurant, you know, she ended up not saying yes to the proposal, and she's just saying it wasn't the right timing. This just wasn't the right guy. And I feel like we catch ourselves in so many moments where we're with somebody and it's just no matter how much you want to make it work, you know, given the situation, if there's no spark or you don't feel like it's meant to happen, you got to walk away. And I thought that was really cool that she addressed that she didn't try to drag it on And, you know, she ended it there. So I thought that was really kudos for her for doing that.
Yeah, I have so much respect for people who walk away from things that they may have put a lot of effort into it. And she talked about how long she had been with him. And to get to that point and decide, you know what, this isn't for me, I'm gonna head out. I have so much respect for her. And as a woman to do that, I feel like there's so much pressure to say yes to the dress, to go down the aisle. And kudos to her for standing up and saying, you know what, this isn't right. I can't do this anymore.
And out of respect for the other person, too. I think a lot of times we think that we are protecting someone's feelings, but ultimately, if I felt that someone had mentally checked out months ago and still stayed with me, and that would hurt me more, that would make me more embarrassed. So yeah, I think just being honest with your feelings and realizing this is also someone else's life and their relationships that they could be finding and forming with people that they're meant to be with. So I like to see that she admitted that as well.
And one of my favorite quotes that she said was, "The heart can tell us more than what any spreadsheet or book could tell, but the trouble is learning how to read it."
Yours are okay.
Preach
Yours are
to
different.
The choir.
Listen. I use my heart and my spreadsheet.
Yeah, no, yours is a good one. But yeah, her classic idea of these guys so caught up in business. And, you know, I am curious to see if we'll see a movie with the female being way more businessy and the guy trying to bring her into the Christmas spirit, because that's a pretty cliche stereotype that we see in these movies where the female is typically like, decorate, and the guy's the businessman.
Yeah.
So I would like to see that switch up a little bit, which I've seen Hallmark do before, but not so far in our series. But we're just getting started, so we'll see.
It's only the beginning.
Only the start. But she did do that a little bit towards the end, because for a while she did not want this company. Like, she took it over just so she could keep in the family business for her grandmother.
It's a lot of pressure.
But that's one reason I love about her and Gabe's relationship, is because he helped her in a way find her passion with this company, just saying, you have so much potential here, go ahead and use it. And that's one of the things that we liked, was when she was in that business meeting in New York. That was when, you know, the guy was just saying, why do you like this? Why should I invest in Marion Bright?
Felt like an episode of Shark Tank.
Yeah.
And then
Right?
when
We
he
have to do
says
this.
it's just okay, I don't know how good I'd feel about that comment.
Right?
And then Gabe and Cate were like, just okay.
I mean, I think one of the things that I took away from this was the question of, do you know who you are? I loved that the business owner asked her that, and that she actually took her time and was able to answer it. So I thought that was a really cool turning point for her as a character, because from that point on, I feel like, even though we did see it in the fact that she turned down a proposal. But anyway, we got to see her start to finally own this and decide who she, like, what she stands for as a businesswoman. And I mean, even when she finally declines the offer in the end, I was just so proud of her. And that was kind of like my takeaway. That was my lesson learned from this movie.
Yeah, more so just owning the company, but owning herself as a woman and what she wants, and seeing the character evolve is cool for the viewer too, because I think we see ourselves a little bit in these characters, and we want to feel empowered. And so when we see them sticking up for what they believe in, you're kind of like, oh, I could do that too.
Yeah, I know who you are.
And especially when Jodie is doing it.
Jodie does it well. And speaking of owning who you are, Gabe is kind of reminds me of a lost character through this whole entire movie. You know, he's just so focused on the business. He even told Cate that he spends his Christmases sometime in the airport.
Oh, that sounds so sad.
And it wasn't until at that tree lighting that's when he started really falling for Cate and just falling for the holidays in general. And I love that moment when they were back in New York together, and he shows her the picture that his dad made of the barn and the Christmas tree. That was so cute. With, you know, just saying, this is the reason why I felt like I fell in love with your town, was because I had a connection to it already. What were your guys' thoughts on that?
Well, I think it's a beautiful thing to see someone's walls come down, and we are creatures of habit. I think when people are so caught up in business and their routine that they lose those memories and they lose the feeling of family and the meaning of Christmas. So to see the love interest come in and remind him of the things that are truly important is why we love these movies.
Yeah, I think moments like these throughout the movie made his decision to push this corporate takeover. It just seemed out of place to me. It seemed like he spent so much time getting to understand how small businesses operate, their principles, what matters to them, learning about Christmas and going back to those memories. So when he did try to push that contract, I really felt like, I don't know, I just felt like, well, this was kind of a surprise. I just kind of came out of left field to me.
That was going to be my next question. Were you guys upset when he wanted to change Merry and Bright and not make it its main principle of a candy cane company and push it towards more being a chocolate company?
I saw his point of view where, you know, we have this traditional company, your grandma set the standard for how she wanted it to be, but I also see a businessman realizes that you need to evolve with times and changing and meet demands. So I could see where he felt conflicted and needed to make a business decision.
Do you think she overreacted a little bit, being upset with him?
I feel like, I don't think so, because after all of their encounters, after he literally spent time in this town, got to see the recipe book, he understood where they were coming from as a company. He got to understand their identity, at least I thought. Like I said, I was surprised and I understood where she was coming from. I would be upset if you try and turn us into a chocolate company. Like, we didn't sign up for that. We signed up for, hey, we'll do chocolate. We're a candy cane company, but we also do chocolates, and we do chocolates year round. But to turn them into a chocolate company that happens to do candy canes, I think he should have known better.
Yeah.
And I feel like she had a pressure to hold her family's legacy and keep it as this sacred model of what the grandma always wanted it to be.
But I loved how she had that conversation with her mom on the couch, and she was very supportive, saying, look, this is your company now, so you got to do what you got to do. And, you know, if grandma had to make a business change, she would have done it. So I loved how the mom was encouraging, saying, you know, do something new. Do it as a new protocol.
Well, and I like that Hallmark did show that, look, a lot of times you don't just know the right decision to make. Business decisions can be really difficult, especially if this wasn't even something you asked for and then suddenly you have this heavy title. You have to make decisions that are not always an overnight easy thing to decide. So I do like that we saw her struggle, ultimately come out on the other side. But that was a more realistic moment, honestly, that I could relate to, which I'm not a CEO of any company, but just the reality of, these things are not just a walk in the park and it's like, oh, whatever, we'll do this. There is struggle in those big decisions.
Yeah, I like their approach to it because it empowered her and it made her, or at least as a viewer, I felt like she was supported in either direction she went. You know, I felt like they didn't demonize or villainize any particular direction. She could have gone ahead and signed the contract and she still would have had that same support. I think she still would have had the same respect, and I love that her mom was there for her no matter what. But of course, I'm happy that she figured out who she is as a businesswoman, the company, who they are, and stuck to her principles, you know?
Yeah. And that's why she wanted to create different flavors for the candy canes.
And we disagree a little bit.
I know. We were like, but you guys try these flavors, because they had French toast, pumpkin spice, sugar plum, key lime pie. Would you guys try any of those flavors?
I would.
Yeah.
I'm always down for a good key lime flavor. I would like key lime.
Yeah.
I would try all of them, even the French toast.
Yeah, no, French toast, I just picture it being like a
opposed to it.
cinnamony type thing.
I'll try the French toast. It kind of, maybe I'll just taste like Captain Crunch or something.
That's what I imagine it would taste like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cinnamon
But
Toast Crunch.
would we ever even know? Do those even exist?
I think she saw, oh, I'm sorry, I missed one. I think she even had eggnog on there too, but I forgot to write
Okay, that's
it.
the one I wouldn't do.
You wouldn't do
I'm
eggnog?
not an eggnog
Have you ever been to
fan.
Milk Bar?
I've had their cookies.
I feel like their milky ice cream would be similar to eggnog, just like a milky creamy.
I don't know.
I don't know why this
so I
had to
haven't
be
had
a
it,
creamy hand signal. But
probably the
I'm
one I
almost
wouldn't do.
frustrated that I wish these really existed, or do they?
We should look it
After
up.
buzzers,
We
get on that
should,
research. We
right?
need to figure out where we can. I'm sure, especially being in LA, there's got to be a place that has cool, funky flavors for candy
Right.
canes.
I mean,
you
if you
think?
go to the dollar store, you can find like sweet tart flavored and just
Ooh,
things
see, that's
other
what I
than
don't like,
peppermint.
sweet tart.
Other than peppermint, but gourmet candy canes. That's a good business
Gourmet.
idea.
I used to like to
I
see how
like
sharp
it.
I could get the end, like how pointy.
How pointy you could get it. Okay, well, we'll try those flavors. We love them. But another thing I
We'll try 'em
love...
if we can find them.
We'll try if we can find them. I love the dog. Can we talk about the dog?
You did love the dog.
How cute. And the mom and the dog. And the mom at first is just like giving him a lecture like, okay, you're only staying here for this amount of time because you belong to Cate. And then she softened as it went along.
Well, and her acknowledging in the beginning that she's been on her own. She's used to this. It was really nice to see her have company.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dogs are a girl's best friend.
I loved when they were at the tree lighting and the mom hides the dog in the gym bag. And they catch it too by saying, why does your mom have a gym bag?
Because she's going to the gym.
She's going to the gym. And then when Kate's at the door and she wants to come in to get her grandmother's recipe book, she's like, oh, can I come in? She's like, sure, but hold up. And she's like, Mom, I know what you're doing. She's like, you do? Yeah, I understand. You want to go to the gym. She's like, oh, yeah, that's right.
I love all of the plot twists in this movie. I love the mix-up at the very beginning, whether or not he was the matchmaker guy, and even finding out that this was his mom that he's working for. And so these are the moments that I feel like really made this movie special.
And we can tell they're both big family people because they're both ultimately doing what their family would want them to do with their careers.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. And I messed up. So when she was at the door trying to get her grandmother's recipe book, she didn't really suspect anything was off with her mom, but it was more when they were on the couch together. That's when she brought up the whole gym bag scenario. But with moms, what did you guys think of Gabe's mom? How she was always trying to hint him to be with Cate because she's always saying...
I love it.
Yeah, she was
always
the one.
that meddling. That meddling,
mom.
always.
That meddling mom. And then, side note, too, I think it was really cute with Kate's best friend, Pete, and her co-worker. What was her name again? Sophie and Pete. How oblivious guys could be. Sometimes they're trying to hint towards the engagement. And then when he proposes...
Infinity necklace.
Yes. And he knew. He's like, okay, I kind of know what you guys are talking about, but I'm so nervous. And guys get nervous about engagements, too.
That's very nerve-wracking.
I actually was kind of unsure how I felt about that. I feel like she should have... I don't like pressuring people to make decisions like that, you know? So I kind of wish that she would have... I mean, it wouldn't have been as magical. We wouldn't have had that moment where she's literally giving him the advice that she needs herself.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel like it would have been more empowering if the assistant had that conversation with him and said, you know what? Hey, where are we going? This is what I want. I feel like we should be empowered to say that, you know, and not try and force him to propose.
I think maybe the only issue with that would maybe the plot would have turned into more of their story.
Well, it wouldn't have worked for this movie, but just me
just the
being
concept in general.
right. It's kind of like, well,
general.
what if they would have talked about it, and if it was more of a situation where he wanted to? I mean, we know he wanted to propose, but maybe he could have confided in her a little earlier. I don't know.
I do think if I was in Kate's position and I realized that one of my friends really wanted to be engaged and I felt like the guy wanted it just as equally but was a little timid just because of nerves and I was confident that was the only reason, I would probably throw in a little hint or something.
And that's what she did. And even Cate was like, okay, I just give up on you, Pete, you know, because she's like, jewelry. He's like, jewelry? Yes. An infinity necklace. She's like, okay, I'm walking away now. Just think about this. So it kind of shows like a cute relationship between Cate and Pete, too. So who knows? I could see a sequel happening with this movie. I could it.
Too. And maybe we'll see the relationship get a little bit more powerful.
Maybe. We'll see.
We'll see. Well, another thing that I want to see and I want to go to, Haley's going to be talking about it. We have some cool events happening in New Jersey.
We jumping on a plane, guys?
Yes. Well, we talked about this. We want to get an AfterBuzz TV plane to take us to these events.
Okay.
We should.
Where is our plane? Where do we find that at?
Yes.
So, guys, we have 50 days until Christmas, which is crazy to think about. But if you are already, just like us and in the holiday spirit, you don't need to wait that long. You can kick off the Christmas season with the world's finest, and finest probably, but the world's first Christmas con presented by That's 4 Entertainment on November 8th through the 10th in Edison, New Jersey, which is right outside of New York City. There's going to be appearances from Chad Michael Murray, Danica McKellar, and for you Mean Girls fans, Gretchen and Aaron themselves, Lacey Chabert, who is a huge Hallmark movie character herself, and Jonathan Bennett, so fetch. There will be gingerbread wars, an ugly sweater contest and providing coverage and interviews right here from AfterBuzz TV. So make sure to tune in. Again, that's November 8th through the 10th. And in the meantime, you can check out the Christmas 24/7 network, completely new, where we are bringing you lots of Christmas coverage, including top celebrations, tips, and holiday traditions from around the world. There's new shows every week.
Thank you. And they also have a podcast, too, that talks about essentials, Christmas essentials that you need. I believe it's James Lott Jr. that talks about it, too.
That's super helpful,
Yeah,
actually.
definitely.
Very helpful. So
It's hard to think of stuff.
It
think of
is.
ideas.
It is.
Yeah.
So be sure to check that podcast out. I'm going to. But speaking of essentials, we have our Hallmark essential checklist here. And if we
We
broke
should
it
incorporate
down,
this with like, take a shot every time.
we should. Oh gosh, I don't know. We might not be
Maybe
able.
for you guys
A
safe
shot
at
of
home
hot
who
cocoa.
don't have to
Hot
drive.
cocoa.
Yes.
I was gonna say we
Shot
might
of hot
not
cocoa.
be able to do
A
this after
marshmallow
show.
for each time you see a theme.
We have the denial of the relationship. So someone's thinking, okay, I have feelings for this person, but I'm denying it. I'm not going to go for it. Then you have that one person that influenced them. Most of the time, it's a family that influences it. And then a deadline. So there's some type of problem that they have.
Some crazy.
Some crazy thing that they have to get done by Christmas. An attempted first kiss. And then one character is successful. Amazing Christmas decorations. Conflict, and of course a happy ending.
Oh.
I felt like they pretty much marked everything off on the checklist except for the attempted first kiss. There was 2 kisses. And I felt like for the attempted first kiss was the actual kiss when they were in New York and
That
they were
was
looking
a
at
kiss. We talked about
Yeah.
that. That was like,
That
you know,
was-
more
yeah.
intense than most Hallmark kisses.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Hallmark is getting a little PG-13. What did you guys think it pretty much hit all of the marks?
I think so. I think it was pretty on our Hallmark format.
I actually thought they were gonna kiss by the car. I kind of considered that an attempted,
they
like
thought that was attempted kiss. I could see that.
it wasn't phically an attempted kiss, but I think emotionally they were there.
They were
There's
trying to
always
go
that,
there.
Yeah,
is it gonna happen moment?
That
yes.
moment. That's true, because she was giving him the chocolates, and that's when she was trying to get in the car.
Right.
And
Yeah, he
Yeah.
tried to open the door and he couldn't. Again, another moment that I love about this movie, but I thought there was an attempted kiss.
attempted.
Yes.
Because I feel like with the attempted kiss, it's like they're fully going in, and then someone interrupts them. Like they walk
Always.
into
Yes,
the room.
always.
Always happens. But yeah, no, I felt like, and the big conflict was just between them two, was he wanted to turn it into a chocolate company, and she wanted to keep it to its main roots. Which, kudos to her. I'm so glad she fought for that. Mm-hmm. And then of course they had the happy ending, and I liked how they jumped to 1 year later too. So it was like a timeline, and that's how he proposed to her.
Yeah, I like to see that too. Finding her true love through
Finding
Christmas.
her
Gotta
true
see where
friend.
they end up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the amazing Christmas decorations. When they were by the fire, that was cute. When they were, after the Christmas trees there, they were at the fire, and they were just like drinking like hot cocoa, just getting to know each other a little bit. I think that's when they're kind of getting into their past relationships, about tearing down those walls.
Yeah.
Or even that open space when he walked upstairs. It was toward the beginning.
Yeah.
When they were setting up for the event. Those decorations look
Oh,
good too.
in the New York home, yeah.
Well, it
Oh,
was the
no,
one
no.
with the forest decorations.
Oh, the forest decorations. Yeah,
That
yeah.
was pretty too.
But yeah, and then the New York home too. I thought that was
It's like
really
one
pretty.
of the best things about the Hallmark movies, getting inspiration of like, oh, I could do that.
Yeah, that's where I get my
A lot of
inspiration.
things are hard to do because it's such elaborate sets. I wonder how much of a budget for a Hallmark movie goes into the decoration in the set, because that's huge, you know?
That's true. You
I'm
can also
sure-
reuse things though.
Yeah.
I bet it's more than the wardrobe. No shade.
All right. Well, that is it for our Hallmark Essential Checklist. But we're going to get into gifting ideas with Haley.
Yeah, so I'll admit sometimes I need help in this area. So if we can provide you guys a platform to get some ideas, we also want to help out with that. So this one is going to be for those that might have a new baby in the family or a close friend. So this gift is VTech Touch and Music B. Music Combi. Is what
So cute.
Did I say that right? Music B?
Yes, music bee.
Music
It's a
bee.
bee. It's a bumblebee.
How adorable.
So it's a little bee that it can teach you colors, numbers, and shapes all through touching buttons. They even have sound soothing sensors to calm the baby before sleeping, which I know moms and dads can really appreciate help in that department. And it's got like a soft glow, so it's really gonna set the mood to calm your child down. And it could be a perfect gift for a baby's first Christmas. So how exciting could that be to be able to give to,
That
you
is
know,
cute.
a little baby
So
for
cute.
Christmas?
I'm gonna have to look into this.
About $20 too.
Oh, that's so reasonable.
Yeah.
Because two of my best friends back in Denver, they're both pregnant at the same time.
Oh, wow.
And they're only 1 month apart from each other.
Wow.
So it's an exciting time. I'll have to look into this. Yay.
So yeah, that could be a great idea for anyone who's got a little baby.
Little baby. All right. Well, thank you, Haley, for that gifting idea. And that pretty much breaks down our show for Merry and Bright. But before we leave, Princess, where can people find you on social media?
You guys can find me on Instagram and Twitter at princessctv.
You can find me Instagram and Twitter at HeyJ, HAYJ _.
And you could find me on Instagram at Chelsie Overocker. That's Chelsea with an IE. And on Twitter at Chelsie Overocker. All right, guys. We'll see you for next show with the next movie. Bye.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.